Foodelicious!
Rice, a renowned and nutritious staple. It takes on different culinary charms whether served in Korea, Spain, or Vietnam. Let's taste the varieties now.
Would you like some sweet and spicy dim sum with kimchi? Try dipping it in oyster sauce on today's Crunchy Kimchi.
Red is more than just the color of love and passion. Bring it to the dinner table for better health. Discover red treats sure to satisfy the eyes, mouth, and health on style and taste.
What makes a good restaurant? Is it the long outstanding tradition, like this mask? Or is it the top quality ingredients? Well, when I go into a restaurant, I try to judge by the people. It's like the owner or the people that frequent the place or even the chef. Well, next time we go into a restaurant, let's try to keep this in mind. It's not just about the food, it's about the atmosphere. Well, let's keep this in mind when we move into our next segment of Foodelicious.
A grain of rice, though small, packs in plenty of nutrients and taste. It's enjoyed in different shapes and sizes all over the world. After all, rice is ordinary but can be turned into something quite extraordinary in taste. Journey with us now into the savory world. Rice has stolen the culinary spotlight as a health food. Asians consume a particularly high volume of it. And for Koreans, the grain seems to be extra significant.
살아가는 원동력이죠.
하루라도 안 먹으면 쓰러지죠.
우리가 살아가는데 가장 필요한 게 밥 아닐까요?
Rice is a part of everyday Korean life. That's why we have so many different dishes featuring it. Among the healthiest and tastiest is nutritious stone pot rice. We're talking about more than just rice here. 10 or so other ingredients are added. You could almost call it a medicinal food. Everything comes together in the stone pot. From here, the smells and tastes flow.
While Koreans use a stone pot, the Spanish use a full-sized but thin steel pan. The food and term paella derives from the name of this lidless steel pan.
Turning back to Korea, it's important to cook the rice with a perfect amount of water. So, what's the most crucial element of the cooking process?
밥을 지을 때 가장 기본이 되는 것은 먹는 사람을 생각하며 짓는 마음의 정성입니다.
The heart of the cook. Call it TLC in brief. This pot of rice should contain the warmth of home and a mother's touch.
Now that you've learned about a Korean dish, let's head to Europe. Think Westerners don't enjoy rice? Think again. The Spanish relish it.
우리나라처럼 쌀이 주식은 아니지만 다른 유럽 어느 나라보다 쌀이 더 좋아하고 쌀을 즐겨 먹는 나라 중에 하나가 스페인입니다.
Spain's representative rice dish is the paella, a harmonious mix of rice and seafood. If you cook the rice and fried seafood, it's a dish filled with Spanish spirit, with plenty of seafood and yellow rice dyed in saffron. It's an entree sure to whet your appetite. Not too rich and doused with the sweetness of its seafood, paella is a dish that will charm you every time.
The seafood paella has been phenomenal. You know, it's got a big variety, vast variety of seafood. You get mussels and clams and shrimp and crab and you know, it's just fantastic. I would highly recommend it.
향이 굉장히 자극적이어가지고 그렇기도 하고 해산물이 같이 나오니까 비릴 줄 알았는데요. 생각보다 너무 고소하고 괜찮았어요.
The Spanish paella and the Korean nutritious stone pot rice both feature rice. But how are they different?
Rice grains taste different and possess different qualities depending on climate and region. For example, Vietnamese indica rice is long and less sticky, while Korean japonica rice is round and sticky.
Then what about Spanish rice?
스페인에서 나는 쌀은 유전적으로 우리하고 비슷합니다만은 형태적으로 볼 때는 우리 쌀과 그 베트남 쌀이 한 중간 정도 된달까요? 뭐 그런 특징을 가지고 있고 같은 자포리 가면서도 밥을 해놓으면은 우리처럼 그렇게 많이 붙지가 않습니다. 붙지가 않고 그런 대로 잘 떨어지는.
The distinct rice dish of paella. Customers polish off their plates. Are you all finished?
아직 다 안 먹었는데요.
What they are scraping from the bottom of the pan is socarada, or scorched rice.
빠에야는 이 맛으로 먹는 것 같아요. 밥을 다 먹고 나서 마무리를 이렇게 긁어 먹어야지 안 그러면 뭔가 빠진 것 같고 하잖아요.
Oh, this is similar to how we do things in Korea. We pour hot water into a stone pot and enjoy a sort of soup at the end of a meal.
그 솥밥을 먹으면은요, 일단 마지막으로 누룽지로 마무리를 해줘야지 밥을 먹은 것 같은 느낌이 들고요. 또 입안도 개운해지고 해서 굉장히 좋은 것 같아요.
맛있고요. 정말 우리 한국인의 입맛에 딱 맞는 것 같아요.
But I hear some people avoid rice, harboring the misconception that carbohydrates are fattening.
.8 grams carbohydrate, 15.5 grams water, 6.8 grams protein. Rice has plenty of carbohydrates, but they vary in type from other carbs.
쌀에 들어있는 단백질은 밀가루에 들어있는 단백질보다 소화되기 쉬운 형태의 단백질이에요. 또한 쌀에 들어있는 단백질은 요즘에 문제가 되고 있는 알레르기를 유발하고 아토피를 유발하는 그런 단백질이 밀가루보다는 아주 비교적 굉장히 적게 들어있고 거의 없다고 보시면 됩니다.
Now let's visit Vietnam to find another healthy rice dish. The Vietnamese, like Koreans, consume rice as a staple, and they've come up with some great dishes.
굉장히 특이한 것 같고요.
다시 먹고 싶은 그런 맛이에요.
In contrast to the entrees of Korea and Spain, Vietnam's claim to fame is a noodle dish. Are these noodles made of rice? Vietnam is an agricultural society, which explains why one of its most popular foods is rice noodles. There are benefits to making noodles out of rice.
쌀이 우리 몸에 좋은 건 다 아시죠? 그래서 그 밀가루를 먹었을 땐 거북할 수 있는데 이 쌀국수를 먹으면 그런 게 하나도 없습니다. 들어갈 때도 부드럽고요. 먹고 나서도 든든합니다.
One type of rice in 3 countries. This translates into a variety of cooking methods.
Yes, in Korea we boil rice with water. Koreans eat a luscious sort of rice, the kind where every single grain is damp. In Spain, rice is fried in the water used to cook seafood. This makes the rice more firm and tasty. And in Vietnam, folks enjoy rice in the popular form of noodles. Add the noodles in the boiling shrimp stock with a pinch of coriander for flavor. Rice has been transformed. These thick, delectable noodles can be enjoyed with soup. Noodles that are slurped up without pause. So how does rice taste in the form of noodles?
아주 면발이 아주 쫄깃쫄깃하고요. 그다음에 국물이 아주 시원한데 면발과 그 국물의 조화가 아주 잘 이루는 것 같습니다.
쌀하면 뭐 떡이나 밥 요 정도로만 생각하는데요. 베트남은 쌀을 가지고 국수를 만들어서 먹는다는 게 굉장히 독특하고요.
Half of the world's population consumes rice. Embraced also as a health food, rice is a new nutritional treat for Westerners. Small but packed with savory punch, rice is claiming fans around the world.
Yeah, this is good stuff. In Guangdong, China, there's a street of restaurants that reflect the image of Stephen Chow. From all of the chefs, just the people around there, they're just so boisterous. And they're full of energy. You can hear the clanging of dishes when they're eating. A lot of that energy, it comes from Guangdong's famous dish called dim sum. Well, today dim sum pairs up with kimchi. You think it'll be a good match? Oh, I certainly hope so. So far, so good.
No artificial flavors. Kimchi, an all-natural health food in Korea, is gaining popularity as a nutritional side dish around the world. Kimchi's taste and nutrients grow by the day, let's see how kimchi has gone new age.
안녕하세요. 이 그릇 어떠세요? 제가 오랜만에 그릇 정리를 하다가 이 그릇을 발견을 했는데요. 오늘 이 그릇을 보니까 오늘의 요리에 영감이 떠오르네요. 김치가 있고 그리고 그릇이 있고 오늘의 요리가 있습니다.
A cooking tale starring kimchi, Crunchy Kimchi. Here are the ingredients that can change the future of pickled cabbage. Now let's meet today's crunchy kimchi star, spicy and sour kimchi. Nutritious pork. Dim sum wrappers to beautifully wrap the ingredients. You will also need to prepare other basic seasonings. Crunchy kimchi enjoyable for both the eyes and mouth. Today we will make kimchi dim sum with oyster sauce.
자, 오늘의 딤섬피는 저는 오늘 두 가지 색깔을 한번 준비를 해봤는데요. 이 초록색은 바로 녹차가루가 들어간 밀가루고요. 그리고 여기 예쁜 주황색 있죠? 이거는 매콤한 김치 국물을 한번 활용해봤습니다. 김치 국물을 그냥 활용하시게 되면 굉장히 지저분한 반죽이 나오거든요. 저처럼 이렇게 체에다가 한번 살짝 걸러서 활용을 해주시면 김치 국물이 아주 깔끔하면서 나중에 만두피가 깨끗하게 나옵니다.
Dilute the strained kimchi juice with water. Add this a little at a time to the flour to make the dough. Wrap the dough in a wet towel for about 30 minutes in room temperature for an even better dim sum wrapper.
딤섬에서 가장 중요한 것은 바로 그 속재료에 따라서 맛이 달라진다는 건데요. 저는 그 속재료로 바로 이 김치를 선택했습니다. 김치는 그냥 사용하셔도 좋지만 좀 아깝다고 생각하셔도 어쩔 수 없이 맛있는 딤섬, 예쁜 딤섬을 만들기 위해서 속을 한번 풀탄해 볼게요.
Mince the kimchi after you've cleared out the inside so that it's easier to stuff into the dim sum. Remember, it's important that you squeeze the water out of the kimchi. Now add pork, green onions, ginger, and salt to the kimchi and mix carefully.
저는 오늘 딤섬 재료를 바로 돼지고기를 선택을 했거든요. 돼지고기 말고 소고기, 양고기, 말고기 이 하고 많은 고기 중에 왜 돼지고기를 했냐면요.
Kimchi's crunchiness and sourness, a result of matured organic acid, blends well with all kinds of dishes. Pork is one of kimchi's best matches. It's high in protein and good for relieving fatigue, but it contains cholesterol and can cause adult onset diseases. Eating pork with kimchi will adjust the amount of cholesterol ingested and help with digestion. And how does the combo taste?
매콤하면서도 끝맛이 달짝지근하면서 이렇게 침이 고여요.
Let's satisfy our appetites and stay healthy with well-cooked pork and kimchi.
자, 지금부터는 중국 소스의 대명사 바로 이 굴소스를 만들 차례인데요. 이 굴소스는 굉장히 진하고 굉장히 짜요. 그렇기 때문에 저는 여기에다가 물을 4배에서 5배 정도 희석해서 사용을 해보려고 하거든요. 지금 제가 2큰술 정도를 넣었으니까 요거에 2배, 물 10컵 정도를 이렇게 넣고, 자, 그 다음에 향을 돋궈주기 위해서 참기름도 살짝 넣어보도록 할게요. 자, 그 다음에 제일 중요한 키포인트는 바로 요 녹말물인데요. 녹말물이라는 것은 녹말 가루와 물을 1대1로 희석해서 만든 게 바로 요 녹말물인데, 요걸 넣고 그냥 가만히 계시면 바로 엉켜버리거든요. 그래서 아무리 재밌는 드라마가 시작을 해도 요 녹말물을 저처럼 이렇게 소스에 넣게 되면 절대 떠나지 마시고 열심히 저어주세요. 언제까지? 투명해질 때까지.
Popular Chinese oyster sauce. Oyster sauce made with fermented oysters goes very well with seafood. It accompanies fried foods, replacing soy sauce, and also brings out stronger flavors in soups while serving as a dressing on steamed dishes. Relish special Chinese flavors with a spoonful of oyster sauce. You'll get plenty of oyster zest.
자, 지금 보시면 아까 뿌리했던 그런 소스의 색이 굉장히 맑아지면서 이렇게 약간의 점성 같은 게 생겼죠. 이렇게 되면 굴소스 완성이 된 겁니다. 이거는 30분 전에 만들어 두었던 그런 반죽인데요. 자, 어디 잘 숙성이 되었나 한번 확인해 볼까요? 아주 탱글탱글하고 맛있겠는데요. 지금부터는 요거를 밀대로 한번 밀어보도록 할게요.
Roll out the dough carefully. you might have to exert all your energy to spread it out to a thickness of about 2 to 3 millimeters. The wrapper should be about 8 to 9 centimeters in diameter for dim sum that can be enjoyed in one mouthful.
색깔찬 곱추업. 이제부터는 본격적으로 딤섬 만드는 법을 알려드리도록 할게요. 왼손에는 딤섬 피를 올려놓고 오른손에는 속을 너무 많이 넣지 마시고요. 조금만 넣어서 이렇게 두 손가락을 이용해서 양쪽에서 이렇게 아무리게 되면 아이고 찌그러졌다. 자, 이렇게 해서 꼭 아물게 되면 딤섬 완성이 되는데요. 초록색 말고 이제 김치로 만든 주황색 딤섬도 한번 만들어 보도록 할게요.
Tap and press in the ingredients with your fingers to make sure the filling does not spill out. Now place the dim sum in the steamer. They are not very big, so you won't need to cook them very long. Steam for about 5 to 6 minutes in high heat. Now the steamy kimchi dim sum is ready.
자, 이렇게 하면 크런치 김치 오늘의 요리 굴소스를 얹은 김치 딤섬 완성입니다.
Spicy kimchi dim sum meets sweet and salty oyster sauce. Colors will liven up any table and palate. Green dim sum is made with green tea powder and orange dim sum is made with kimchi juice. Kimchi dim sum with oyster sauce.
오늘은 중국식 딤섬에 김치를 넣어서 새롭고 맛있게 한번 만들어 봤거든요. 돌아오는 주말에 가족과 함께 재밌게 반죽도 해보고 맛있는 딤섬도 만들어 보면서 행복한 시간 그리고 맛있는 시간 한번 즐겨보시는 건 어떨까요?
Crunchy kimchi and kimchi dim sum. Our cooking stories are full of fun recipes, ways to enjoy kimchi with more style, and a look at how kimchi has gone new age. Crunchy Kimchi will see you next time.
What comes to mind when you think of the color red? Is it the passionate beats of a romantic heart? Or is it the red carpet where all the actors walk in Hollywood? Well, we can't forget the Korean national soccer team, 대한민국, the Red Devils. Well, recently, red has also been a hit in the food industry. Next, we're going to take a look at 3 of the top red foods all around the world here on Style and Taste.
뜨거움, 스포츠카, 키스, 섹시한 입술.
The color red conjures up images of energy. The hue, when found in food, is delightful for the eyes, wholesome for the body, and warm for the heart. Let's dye your table red. The tomato, a passionate red vegetable that dyes Spain's small city of Buñol red every August, is now coloring tables worldwide. The tomato was selected as the representative food of the 21st century by Time magazine. Whether it's a fruit or a vegetable, we know it has definitely made its mark as a representative healthy red food. There's a saying in Europe that when a tomato reddens, doctors become blue. Tomatoes are filled with the nutrients we need to get through our days.
토마토는 붉은 색소인 라이코펜이 중요한 성분입니다. 라이코펜은 항산화력이 커서 노화 방지 및 항암 작용이 있으며 혈당 조절과 심혈관 질환을 예방하는 성분입니다.
Even when compared with greens, tomatoes boast a high percentage of lycopene. Plus, the ways we can eat them are countless. They say that if you want to get rid of Italians, take away their tomatoes. All Italian restaurants around the world have tomatoes on the menu. They're cooked and delightful in pizzas. They're rich sauces on pasta. Eating any sort of vegetable will usually strip it of its nutrients. The tomato is an exception. Heated tomatoes contain more lycopene than do raw tomatoes. On the other hand, raw tomatoes are chock full of fiber. Use a mixer instead of a juicer, grinding up the skin as well for maximum fiber. If you want to enjoy the tomato at its best, I recommend throwing it in a salad. Cheese, basil, and oregano go perfectly with tomatoes. And the olive oil, which will facilitate the absorption of lycopene, will stimulate your appetite and keep you healthy. Now let's try it for ourselves.
살아있는 토마토랑 루꼴라 씁쓸한 맛이 치즈랑 잘 어울려서 좋았고요. 이 피자도 토마토를 오븐에 익혔는데도 그대로 살아있는 것 같아서 토마토가 너무 좋았습니다.
Eating a tomato is like eating a chunk of good health. What makes Korean food so hot? Why is Korea's food one of the world's 3 most spicy? It's none other than gochujang. A Korean's love for gochujang is as intense as its color. Koreans even travel with it and even dip spicy peppers in the gochujang sauce. Then, what's behind the fiery flavor? Japan has natto. Bulgaria has yogurt. The Swiss have cheese. And Korea has gochujang. These are all fermented foods known to promote longevity. Their effect is well known, but the deep taste of gochujang is an entirely separate charm.
고추장은 콩에 있는 단백질과 고소한 맛, 찹쌀, 맵쌀, 보리쌀 등의 탄수화물 식품의 당질과 단맛, 고춧가루의 붉은색과 매운맛, 간을 맞추기 위한 소금의 짠맛 등이 조화가 이룬 아주 우수한 맛이 있습니다.
One of the most popular dishes containing gochujang is bibimbap. Vegetable bibimbap, which is full of vitamins, is very popular and yet very easy to make. All you need to do is top steamed rice with fresh vegetables, cooked meat, and gochujang, and voila! You will fall in love with the simple recipe and its exquisite red sauce.
고추장을 맵지 않게 드시려면 사과나 배, 양파, 파인애플 같은 달콤한 채소나 과일의 즙을 갈아 넣으시면 되고요. 그것도 아니면 토마토나 파프리카, 견과류를 다져서 넣으시면요. 고추장의 매콤한 맛이 조금 부드러워져서 대중적으로 드실 수가 있습니다.
If you want to enjoy the taste and the nutrients of gochujang, you can also try it in a salad. But if you want to tone down the fiery flavor of gochujang, add olive oil and minced tomatoes. The result is something everyone can enjoy. Gochujang spiciness plus the tomato's sourness. This doubly red sauce means twice the nutrients. Salmon swim upstream to lay eggs and to eventually die. The taste of this fish is as dramatic as its life. In contrast to their bold bodily movements, salmon are quite particular about their preferences. They only swim in pure, clean waters. Is it any wonder the world's top gourmets consider salmon to be one of the best delicacies? Salmon has also been designated as a superfood and is known to be one of the healthiest foods for its ability to promote longevity and reduce the risk of cancer.
연어는 등푸른 생선과 마찬가지로 고단백이면서 오메가3 지방산을 다량 함유하고 있어서 좋습니다. 그러나 연어에는 카로티노이드의 일종인 아스타잔틴을 함유하고 있는데 이 아스타잔틴이 잠재적 항산화력에 있어서 좋다고 할 수 있습니다.
There are no rules to having salmon, but it is important to eliminate the greasiness that comes from salmon's plentiful fat. This is said to be a great task for any chef.
연어를 팬에 굽기 전에 먼저 생강을 한번 팬에다 볶아줘가지고 그 기름에 생강향이 퍼지게 한 다음에 그 기름에다가 연어를 구우시게 되면은 그 연어의 고유의 그 잡내를 없애주고 드실 때 깔끔하게 연어를 드실 수 있습니다.
Ingredients with strong flavors are used to diminish the greasiness of salmon. Capers and lemons are popular, for example. The chef also recommends soy sauce as another way to lessen greasiness, Adding that, it softens the taste of salmon as well. Japanese salmon steak with soy sauce. Delightful salmon pasta. And a gorgeous pink salmon salad. Enhance the tender and luscious flavor of salmon with a glass of wine. Red salmon, a tasty and nutritious way to tickle the taste buds. Sweet and sour tomato, fermented gochujang, and high-protein salmon. This trio is fabulous for the eyes, mouth, and body. A core health food group, red products also contain the energy of the sun.
The reason Indians don't use utensils when they're eating is not just because of religious purposes. They've just discovered a whole new way of eating, with the hands. You can feel the texture and the temperature, and they're the real gourmets of food. So why don't we, next time we're in a restaurant, not just enjoy food with our eyes, our nose, and our mouth, which is key, let's try using our fingers. I know it's gonna be a little dirty, but maybe we'll experience something we can never discover with food. Let's try it together.